You know, in a world that feels increasingly divided, how can compassion be the bridge to bring us closer together? Well, exploring the answer to that very question is the focus of the annual Gallagher Talk, hosted by the Catholic Information Center, or CIC. They're bringing a powerful national voice, Gloria Purvis, to Grand Rapids to address the role of compassion in a divided world. And we're thrilled to be joined by Father Dot Tran from the Catholic Information Center to share more info. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Todd. How are you?
I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for spending the time with us this morning. The Gallagher Talk. If somebody says, what is the Gallagher Talk, because they hadn't heard of it, what would you tell them?
Well, it's just so good to be here to talk about the Gallagher Talk. And it's named after Father Joe Gallagher, who was a beloved longtime priest here in Grand Rapids. And he was a big proponent of bringing faith and culture together and see how the two can interact and inform one another intellectually and spiritually.
Okay, so it's a mission to bring faith and society kind of hand in parallel to see where they intersect and see where that goes. And there's a lot of good things in that could bring to society. Gloria Purvis knows this. She's a big name in your world.
She's a nationally known speaker, and she's currently known for her podcast, the Gloria Purvis podcast. And she's really tackling some of the difficult topics through charitable dialogue. To in some ways model how we can do this in a divided world.
I'm thinking right now about bigger things, like from 30,000 feet. But I love the timing of this because the holidays are coming around. And those conversations, so she kind of dives right into those conversations that people don't want to have at the Thanksgiving table. That's what she's talking about.
Of course, like I read a study last year, a lot of people were hesitant to go home to be with their family members, that aunt, that uncle, that brother or sister, perhaps because there's some fundamental differences in values that they were just hesitant, like, maybe I don't want to go home to the Thanksgiving dinner. But, how sad is that?
It's very sad.
How sad is that? So there's got to be a way to help us come around the table again, to foster that communion of our basic relationship, family members and friends and people in our community. So charitable dialogue is important.
See, now you've said that twice now. I'm loving this turn of phrase here. Charitable dialogue. Is that something that Gloria purports?
Yeah, she's a big proponent of that. And again, to really model that for us, to do that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oftentimes it's more like a monologue, right? I speak, you listen. But first, how can we listen to one another? I'll speak what I believe and what I feel, and when I finish, I love to hear what you have to say.
And chances are, even if those two things are very different, chances are there's something that's common ground.
Of course, and this kind of goes into our faith, the human dignity, that we are all in one human family, right? And you start with that lens, that's the bridge right there.
Absolutely. So this is something that we could all use, whether spiritual, intellectual, societal. I mean, compassion is something that we could all bring in. Is there a way for someone watching this, maybe really motivated and say, I'd like to maybe support this, get involved in this? I mean, is there room for more in the sandbox here to get involved and get maybe a sponsor?
There's always room, The first is just join us that evening, October 15th. From 6 to 8:30.
Sure.
Join us. And there's always room for sponsorship.
Well, let's talk about the night. Let's talk about this the actual event, the Gallagher Talk. What is that going to look like? What happens to somebody who attends?
So we're going to start with hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and not just pops. There'll be some adult beverages. We are Catholic. That's a good thing. And then interacting with people of like-minded or with the same goal.
Sure.
With a worldview, and then there'll be the talks by Gloria.
Will there be any interaction between Gloria and the audience?
Yes, that's before the talk. So that's when you come, you want to do the social mingle.
Because I'm sure she's got I'm sure there are a lot of people who are like, I have a few questions that I'd like to ask her because be familiar with her work. Well, we encourage you to go. We thank you for holding hosting these talks and bringing some compassion. Wouldn't it be nice to live in a nicer world? Charitable dialogue. I'm going to remember that. Gallagher Talk, Catholic Information Center, 15th, right there on Division Street from 6 to 8:30. It's $30 a person, $50 a couple, and you can get your tickets right now. grcic.org for more. We'll be right back.